If you clicked on this video and you're in middle school or you will be in middle school very soon, I want you to stay to the very end because some of the things I may say in this video will be helpful to you in the not so near future. So make sure you're staying to the end because this is 3 things that will absolutely ruin your life in middle school. The first one of these things is hanging out with the wrong crowd. Now, middle school sets the stage kind of for high school, and the habits that you develop in middle school will most likely carry into high school with you, you know? So if you walk into the bathroom one day, see a bunch of kids vaping, like that usually is stuff in middle school like that, and you decide to vape as well, chances are you're going to be vaping all throughout high school. And take it from me, you do not want to be doing this, all right? And it doesn't apply to just vaping. It applies to a lot of other things. If your group of friends is constantly neglecting work and their health to go party, to go vape, or to ditch school, chances are you probably shouldn't be hanging out with them. I know it sounds obvious, but in the moment, it does feel kind of, right. It feels like I should be doing this because, well, you're 14, 13 years old. What else do you know besides that? You're in middle school, for Christ's sake. And basically what I'm saying is do not be hanging out with groups of people like this. And if you find yourself hanging out with groups of people like this, well, you should probably stop doing that because it will lead your life down the drain ultimately, and high school will not be a pleasant experience for you along with the rest of your middle school years. Now, the second thing kind of counters my previous arguments, but it's also important, right? And this is taking classes that are too difficult. Now, I know what you're going to say. Didn't you just say that, you should be taking difficult classes instead of partying, stuff like that? And while that is true, there is a difference between taking classes that are too hard for you, that you can't handle, and then taking difficult classes that you can handle. Because when you take difficult classes that you cannot handle, it kind of starts to spiral out of control. First off, you simply, a lot of the time, just don't know what to do in this class because it is simply too advanced, and maybe your friends or something like that pressured you into taking these hard classes, which kind of relates to what I said before. Don't hang out with the wrong crowd. Hang out with a group of friends that supports you in whatever you do. I know that's kind of hard to find nowadays, but you should still try anyway. And when you take classes that are too difficult, a lot of the time you end up failing them just like I did. I failed a lot of my classes in middle school. And the only reason I probably still graduated is because I used AI. And you should not be using AI because you should be taking classes that are right for you. All right? Because when you don't, you stop taking care of your health and everything just because you have to keep up this grade in this class that is too difficult for you in the first place. It doesn't really make any sense. So the way to fix this is just make sure that you know what you're signing up for. Make sure that it's your decision of what classes you're taking. Because when it's not, it'll be too hard. Your parents will be disappointed in you. You'll probably be disappointed in yourself because, you think you could have passed this class even though it's too hard. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't take hard classes at all, right? Obviously, people are, different. Okay, so this third one I'm about to say probably hits the closest to home for me, but I also think it's the most controversial and probably the one that's the most true, if you ask me. And that is social media. Social media in middle school will ruin your life. Sorry, I had to cut a really fast car just passed by with a loud engine, but as I was saying, in middle school, social media will basically just ruin your life. I'm just gonna hand it to you right there, all right? A lot of the time, middle school, around grades, 6, 7, 8, that's when a lot of people start discovering social media and even posting themselves on it. And there's nothing wrong with posting yourself on social media. And there's actually not, all right? But I just think you should wait until you're in high school. Because first off, if you start posting yourself on social media in middle school and people find out, it'll make your life a lot harder. Because at that age, your brain thinks that things are more important than they actually are. Just like people making fun of you because of your TikTok page or something like that. Now, at these ages is also where a lot of people start scrolling and looking at content on platforms like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and stuff. And this is where they get like smartphones and stuff like that. So they have access to this all day basically. And well, while this is not entirely bad, it is mostly bad for a lot of reasons. Because at middle school, there's a lot of unevenness. A lot of people look more different than other people as well. So being on these social media platforms may make it extremely easy to compare yourself to the people around you and the people you see on these platforms, because a lot of the time these people on these platforms are not actually what everybody looks like. Most of the time it's really staged and stuff like that. And well, you see this, your middle school brain sees this and thinks that, why don't I look like that? Why can't I play this sport like this? And it just makes you fizzle out and feel really bad about yourself, which is the last thing you need when you're already dealing with academics and friends and relationships that don't last. So social media is probably the worst thing for you and your health in middle school. Not for everybody, but for most people. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching this video. If you're still here, have a good day or night. And if you want to know about my experiences with this kind of stuff, you can click on one of the videos that just popped up on your screen, and I'll see you later.